Ubuntu, the world's most popular Linux distro, just broke itself. Now, you might already know that Ubuntu is rebuilding the GNU Coreutils, one of the pillars of modern computing in Rust language. And people were like, why rebuild something if it ain't broke? But Ubuntu did it anyway, and that caused this breakdown. Ubuntu's shiny new Rust version of the cp command failed so badly it stopped Ubuntu from building Ubuntu. Yeah, a critical bug. Grab a coffee because this one's a story. Let's jump right in. So here's what actually went down. Ubuntu has been on a mission to modernize the very foundation of the system. For decades, Linux has relied on the GNU Coreutils. These are the basic command line tools written in C that do the everyday heavy lifting. Things like cp, mv, rm, ls, date, sort, foundational tools that are absolutely everywhere. And Ubuntu has been slowly swapping these out for brand new versions written in Rust from a project called uutils. And this project, while really ambitious and quite huge in its technical implementation, has received, you can say, mixed reactions from the community. GNU Coreutils, they are the absolute foundational pillar of not just Linux, but the notion of computing itself. They are old, they are trusted, and people don't want to change or fix what's not broken. Ubuntu has its reason, which we will discuss in a bit. Now, as any new piece of software, these new Rust utils have bugs and stuff. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The problem didn't show up on some random user's desktop. It showed up inside Ubuntu's own live image build system, the very machinery that builds Ubuntu itself. During the build, the system ran a copy command with a few flags combined, something like cp-afl. And this right here is the heart of the whole story. The little -a is archive mode. It tells cp to preserve all important file information and copy directories recursively, and the -l tells cp to follow symlinks along the way. Now, GNU cp has handled this exact combination for decades. It knows the drill, but the Rust version, it didn't behave the same way. When those flags interacted, the recursive behavior implied by archive mode just disappeared. So the build system threw an error, basically saying, you didn't ask me to copy directories recursively, even though archive mode should have done exactly that. And just like that, Ubuntu's entire image build pipeline ground to a halt. And we're not talking about one broken file copy here. We are talking about the automated machinery that assembles every single Ubuntu ISO, the daily builds that the whole distribution stands on. One tiny flag, and the factory that manufactures Ubuntu itself just stopped dead in its tracks. When Ubuntu 26.04 had released, I had warned exactly of this thing. Automated scripts and systems failing because of the new utils. Now, they reverted cp back to the trusty old GNU version and everything was unblocked. Now, if the same issue had happened with some non-Linux related development or deployment pipeline, that would have caused a messy and long debugging session. Same command, different behavior, and broken system. Now, if all this talk of terminal commands is making you excited, if you're interested in the terminal and want to learn Linux, check out my course Linux Mastery Express. I've designed this course to level up your Linux skills very quickly. With this course, you'll get so comfortable using the terminal commands that your friends will think you're a Linux wizard. You'll get perfect with the most used, most useful commands, and also learn advanced things like using the V-editor and shell scripting as well. Linux Mastery Express, link in the description. Do check it out. Now, at first, this sounds ridiculous. How can cp be hard? It copies files. That's literally the name. But that's exactly the wrong idea. For a normal user, cp just means copying one file from here to there. Simple. But for an operating system, cp has to juggle directories, permissions, ownership, timestamps, symlinks, recursion, weird combination of flags, and the decades of script that expect GNU's behavior down to the tiniest detail. So the hard part isn't copying files. The hard part is creating a new copy command that behaves exactly like the cp that the entire Linux world already trusts. The command is tiny, contract behind it is enormous. And this is exactly why Linux users get nervous. Not because of Ubuntu's rewrite of Coreutils, not because new technology is automatically a bad thing, but because cp is just not the place where anybody expects surprises. GNU Coreutils are old, ancient, but that is the whole point. Old is exactly what you want from the commands that touch your files. You want them predictable, you want them trusted, you want them to just work the same way every single time. Because think about it, if your music player crashes, that's annoying. You shrug off, you reopen it, and life goes on. But if cp, mv, or rm behaves even slightly differently from what a script expects, suddenly builds fail, backups misbehave, deployment pipelines break, and in the worst case, real user data is on the line. That's a completely different level of consequences. And yeah, Rust genuinely prevents entire classes of memory bugs. It is safer and robust and high performant by design, and that truly matters. But memory safety does not automatically mean behavioral compatibility, because at the end of the day, a memory safe failure is still a failure. But here's where we have to be fair, because as much as this bug is a headache, Ubuntu is not wrong to experiment. Honestly, I actually respect the ambition here. Linux does not move forward if nobody is willing to test bold new ideas. Somebody has to take the lead, and this is exactly what interim releases are for. A non-LTS release is the perfect place to try out newer technology before it ever reaches the more conservative LTS audience. As a religious LTS guy myself, I love that this experimentation gets to happen somewhere first. And let's give credit where it's due. Rust brings real, genuine benefits, especially on memory safety. GNU tools have had their own bugs over the years too, and the uutils developers, they are doing incredibly difficult work. Bugs in a brand new software are completely normal and expected. That's just how software matures. But, and here's the thing, there is a big difference between testing a shiny new desktop feature and testing the command that copies the operating system into existence. CP, MV, and RM touch real files and real data. The margin for error is tiny. I respect the ambition, but the more foundational the tool is, the slower the rollout has to be. And here's the thing, this CP bug is not the first one here. There were already warning signs during this Rust Coreutils migration. Take the earlier date issue for example. A flag was accepted, but it didn't actually behave the way the surrounding system expected it to behave, and that ended up causing problems with automatic update checks. And Canonical's own security audit turned up serious categories of issues that still needed work, including file system and race condition concerns. Now, does that doom the whole project? Not at all. Honestly, audits and bug reports are exactly how software gets better. But it does prove one thing, the hard part here is very real. That's not a reason to abandon the project, but it is reason to be careful around dangerous commands. Now, there's also a completely separate thread sitting behind all of this, licensing. See, GNU Coreutils are GPL licensed. The Rust uutils, they are MIT licensed. And these two represent very different philosophies. GPL forces any distributed changes to stay open. MIT is far more permissive. It's much easier for companies to take and reuse, even inside closed products. And for us Linux users, that difference matters a lot. Because to us, this isn't just about Rust. It's about what kind of Linux user land we are slowly drifting towards. Now, I don't want to turn this into a licensing accusation. The immediate issue here is compatibility, but it does explain why this story hits such a nerve. So should you actually worry about this? Fret not, my friend. For a normal Ubuntu desktop user, this is not a panic story. Your computer did not suddenly forget how to copy files. This wasn't every Ubuntu machine on the planet waking up with a broken CP command. The failure lived inside Ubuntu's build process, not on your desktop. And Ubuntu already handled it by reverting CP back to the trusty GNU version. So it's sorted. But, and this is important, it still matters. Because it shows exactly what happens when a replacement is almost compatible, but not quite compatible enough. At least not yet. If you're on an LTS release, Ubuntu ensures you're safe and secure. If you're on an interim release, you have chosen a bit of excitement. This is not a panic story, but this is a warning story. So, where does all of this leave us? Honestly, as a software developer myself, I completely understand what the Rust Coreutils are going through right now. This is a project still in its development phase, and in that phase, issues like this are going to surface. That's not a flaw, that's the process. Something breaks, it gets spotted, and it gets fixed. And here's the part people forget. For about 95% of users, the Rust Coreutils are already perfectly usable. It's just every now and then that something like this pops up. So yeah, I'm genuinely optimistic about where this is heading. But this whole thing also leaves me with a bigger thought. In a world that's moving this fast, there is incredible value in software that has been tried and tested for decades. Old is gold, isn't it? Those boring, ancient tools earn their trust the hard way by surviving every kind of chaos we ever threw at them. So my advice, stay curious, keep exploring, keep experimenting. That is the whole spirit of Linux. Just maybe don't go breaking your own computer chasing the bleeding edge. Yeah. And if you're serious about mastering Linux, check out my Linux Mastery Express course, the fastest way to learn Linux. Definitely check it out. Next up, check out the top 10 fantastic Linux apps that you should be using in 2026. I've got some really cool ones there, so definitely don't miss that. And with that, this is Linux Techs signing out.